Hey everybody, it's Lisa. So, having just a little bit of technical difficulty, so uh, forgive me if we're just a little bit late getting things started here. So, as everybody in the vinyl community that's been so good to me the last few weeks knows, I started this channel as a way to help myself get over my social anxiety. Um, and to just kind of reach out to others. And also, I was just delighted that there were so many people that love vinyl records as much as I do. But I wanted to introduce everybody to the person who inspired me that I can actually do this. And he doesn't know that he's the reason I decided to do this, but I invited him on. He is an amazing musician, drummer. His name is Burke Thomas. And I'm going to let you all tell his story. He has an amazing story. He started his own channel, the Drum Recovery Network, to reach out to his drummer heroes and other musicians. He's also spoken to bassists, and it's just been a delight for me to watch his channel grow. I found his channel after looking for information on Chris Frantz's new book, Remain in Love, and saw that he had interviewed Chris Frantz, did a wonderful job. I heard his story and I was just so inspired by him, and it just inspired me to start my own channel, although it did take me a few months to get going. But he has students. He is a teacher. He teaches drums, of course, and he has students in about an hour. So we are going to not waste any more time and get him on here. Please meet the amazing Burke Thomas.
Check, 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 check.
Hey, Burke.
Hi, can you hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, cool.
I
didn't know that.
I had to install some special software in my basement here so we could get a better signal.
Gotcha.
So it's been a busy afternoon. I can't thank you enough for this. I know how busy you are, and I know you have students coming in less than an hour. So we're going to try to, make this quick. But so my name is Lisa. You've seen me comment on a few of your videos. My husband and I have been enjoying all of your interviews. You get a really a whole different point of view having them, being interviewed by a fellow musician instead of just a regular journalist. And so that part's pretty neat.
I hope so.
Yeah. You do great. I really, and you inspired me a lot, especially when you opened up and talked a little bit about having your own issues with anxiety and all the things that you've overcome. It really made me feel like I could do this, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym when you're a really shy person and, let alone talking to anyone on the street when you're talking to like Hall of Famers who you're heroes in the music business and trying to do research and like maintain a conversation. There's nothing harder than that, to act like it's normal or it's comfortable.
I don't know. You manage quite well. Although I've definitely, you can see growth as you go. You can see growth there, but I think you do such a great job. I don't think I could have gotten through an interview with Chris Frantz. I'm too big of a Talking Heads fan. I just would have. About 25 years ago, I got a chance to meet Denzel Washington, and they said, Lisa, meet Denzel. And I said, hi, and I ran. That was it. Hi, and I ran. And I've regretted it ever since, but that would be me meeting Chris Frantz. And you sat for an hour with him, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when I introduce myself and I tell them what my channel is about, whoever the guest is, I usually just ask for like 10 minutes, and I end up spending over an hour because I think they understand that I'm just not going to be like total fanboy and I kind of know what I'm talking about. But I can go into detail about their discography if I want to go that way. or I can talk about drum rudiments, or even just anywhere in their career path, what certain songs meant to me as I was teaching myself music. On an emotional level, I'll pick memories out. And Chris specifically, I was pulling weird stuff out, like being on swim team and river rafting and stuff like that. And I could tell he was just like, what is this guy talking about? But to me, it makes sense, having to do with water, and I'm in the water all the time, and MTV was starting to ramp up. And but I thought he got a kick out of that. And then I don't think he gets praised enough technically, in the history of rock and roll drumming.
The rhythm section of Talking Heads was everything, and although the lyrics are neat and all that good stuff, if you took that out, I don't think they would have achieved the level of success they did at all. So,
no,
very underrated rhythm section there.
I mean, that's proven in Tom Tom Club immediately. So.
Oh my God! They said, you know what? Genius of Love. I don't know if it still is, but at one point it was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being sampled more than any other song. Was what somebody told me. Do not hold me to that. But the person who told me is generally right about. I mean, they're like a trivia head. So, so that, that was an amazing get. You also got to interview Martin Chambers from Pretender. And
if I stopped there, that was my first. And if I stopped there, I'd been fine. Like, I'm done. I can't believe
that. When I was looking through your videos and I saw that was your first interview, I went, oh my, how did you get through that? You must have felt like after that, you could stop. Because I mean, that would be enough. That's Martin fucking Chambers. That would be enough. Or
I actually have enough I put up.
It's all downhill from there. It's all easy from there because you interviewed Martin Chambers, and he was gracious. He gave you a great interview, a long one.
Yeah, and being my
had to divide it in 2 parts, didn't you?
Yeah. So I actually have enough for 3, but I haven't. There's some social information and just non-musical things in there, and I would need to contact and get approval first.
Yeah,
a very long thing, but
that's respectful.
Discovered from that, being my first interview, was I was so stressed out about having the interview perfect that I was trying to jump to the next question too fast. And that's why, while we're talking right here, don't worry about time at all, because I know. And I didn't let the conversation breathe, and I can tell that he was getting more comfortable as the interview was going on. And I should have just let him. I should have just been more organic about the conversation. And I was so worried about his time, and I just wanted to make sure I got through all my stuff that I've been preparing for a week. So that's one way I've improved as I've been going, and I'm sure you will too. Yeah.
Well, my channel, honestly, I'm a vinyl nerd. I love vinyl record. I love all music though. I love Spotify too. So it's not like I'm a snob like that, but I started this channel to talk about vinyl records and kind of find a community of people who were interested in the same things as me. Cause I have, most of my friends, do not collect vinyl records. And, so it's just something like an outlet for me, but also a chance for me to get comfortable. I finally admitted to myself that I wanted a music degree. So I've changed my major. I'm starting Wright State University, majoring in music next year. And I better get comfortable getting in front of people. I actually played harmonica in a band briefly. I had to quit because I got sick. I could not get on stage and get in front of people. I had to quit.
That's common. Yeah.
So this is going to help me, so many, I've met so many gifted musicians, insane singers who they just can't do it. And I just wanted to get in front of, I just wanted to get comfortable.
I get sick when I'm not on stage. That's my problem.
Well, I wish that was my problem.
Yeah, that's my comfort zone.
So why don't you tell everybody your story? Excuse me, I'm sorry. And then and then I'll get my friend Colleen. She is here.
Cool.
And so we'll get her on to talk about her event as well.
Okay, I'll do the speed version of the bio. You're in Ohio, is that right? Are
I'm
you in
in
Ohio?
Dayton, Ohio.
That's home
Yeah.
of Guided by Voices, isn't it? Or
I
somewhere
don't know.
pretty close. Okay,
I
I think it is.
I don't know. I'm not. I know that Dayton is like the home of funk, and we have Ohio Players and Slave. All of them were from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of there's a rich musical history here
Oh,
and
yeah.
also in Cleveland. Of course, obviously with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame being there. But
Okay, so born and raised in Orange County, California,
right.
self-taught musician, grew up with a bunch of blonde-haired, blue-eyed surfers. I didn't surf.
We're
Played
familiar.
music.
Colleen and I grew up in Southern California as well, so we get it.
Yeah. Played a lot of football. I was trying to decide which path to go. I eventually decided with music. I got an audio engineering degree in LA, and I thought that's what I was going to do. Didn't go to my college graduation. I was sick of LA. I just wanted to try something else somewhere different. I eventually I fished for about 6 months in Montana to decide where I wanted to live. Then I went to Seattle. I didn't know anyone. I answered about 6 ads, joined 6 bands, and just to meet people. And one of them eventually got signed to Warner. So all of a sudden I was a drummer. And so that's decades of a music career, I guess, as a drummer. I'm not really, I don't know, qualified or taught to be that, but all of a sudden I'm doing that. And that was great. That's a dream, because speaking of vinyl, I grew up teaching myself the drums, listening to vinyl to the point of where I'd have to run across the room, put the record on, run across the drum kit with the headphones, and I would actually memorize the skips as like drum fills.
Oh, wow.
The music career is it's very jagged. There's peaks and valleys, and joined several bands and working for .com companies in between just to make money. And just fast forward. So as far as the accident goes, last year I was playing for Roger Fisher, the original guitar player of Heart, for his birthday show, and he was putting together a band to go out on tour and play all the original Heart stuff. So we did a lot of rehearsals out in Carnation, Washington, up here. And after the very first show, I was driving home. We just had a huge snowstorm, and I live out in the mountains, so there's a bunch of switchbacks. It's 2 a.m, and I was going too fast or whatever, and the roads were iced over. I rolled my van a couple times. I got ejected, ended up on the highway. And I was paralyzed for a little bit and ended up having C6 spine surgery. So I'm qualified as they call it C6 Asia D. You don't want to be an A. B is pretty bad. C is bad. D is like, E is going to be okay. So
you're going to be okay. You just have your hands and your feet, probably.
Hands and feet. Knees are still pretty numb. There's a bunch of stuff. It throws everything off. It throws off your posture. It throws off your gait. I've got nerve things running through my groin. But working my way back to a point where I'm able to teach and play live. I teach most instruments here at my school at Loud House. And
Loud House, Seattle?
Loud House Music School. So I do, because of the pandemic and everything, most of it's Zoom these days, but there are a few brave parents who'll keep coming over. But last year I was distracting myself, like, this never happened. I'm going to be normal. I'm going to be 100%. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. And so much downtime this year. A lot of the self-pity and the depression stuff came back. So I started this channel, like, what if I try to inspire other people who might be in the same spot or who are going through something similar, or people who have had injury and come back. Maybe they could share stories, share positivity. And so I've reached out to some heroes of mine who made me want to play music in the first place. And most of them said, yeah. And then all of a sudden I have this channel and I have all this content. I know nothing about algorithms, but I have content up the walls. So once I learn the algorithms, I think the channel will be fine.
Oh, definitely. I think tags are a lot of it, and
Mhm.
and then maybe find yourself a community. But my my friend Colleen that's on standby, she does not have a working camera, so she's going to be in avatar mode, but you're going to hear her voice.
Okay.
uh, so, but she is kind of in the same boat as you are, except that her accident was 30 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, you ready for me to kind of get her on here and tell
Yeah,
you her
sure.
story?
Let's dive in.
Okay, let's get her, Colleen. Okay. Oh, she's already got herself all.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello,
Oh, you guys can hear
Fran.
me?
How are
Hey,
you
there
doing?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colleen, Burke Thomas. This is the drummer I told you about that inspired me so much with his channel and his story. Burke, this is Colleen Eckmark. She's a singer. She's musically inclined. I used to love to sing with her when we were kids because she made me sound really good because I am a terrible
Whatever.
singer.
She carried you.
She has a beautiful voice. We've been friends since the summer before the second grade, 1974.
Yeah,
And
like 7 years old.
Wow.
yeah, we were 7. It was the summer. It was summer school before the second grade.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I know. I feel so
Yeah,
old.
in Orange County. I
And look
heard you
how
say
young
you're
Burke
from,
is.
yeah, and I heard you say you're from Orange County.
Yeah.
Where did
Isn't
you
that
grow
funny?
up?
Newport.
Okay. Well, Lisa, you used to live in Newport.
I did.
Yeah.
Lived in Newport for a year.
Yeah, we grew up over by,
In Orange. We actually grew up in Orange, and then
yeah, over by the
what's that?
Anaheim Stadium
Yeah, yeah.
and
So,
Disneyland, kind of.
Yeah. Born in
Lee,
Anaheim, lived in Newport.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
you should
That's so funny.
tell Burke your story.
Well, I was listening to about your wreck, and your wreck was last year.
Yeah.
My wreck was actually at the end of 91. So, however many years ago that was. And I was 24 when it happened. And we were just out for the night. I was a passenger. And we were drinking, but I didn't have my seatbelt on. And the driver, she had her seatbelt on. And we hit the back of a city bus
Mm.
in front of Vanderbilt University emergency room, like right in front of the emergency room. We hit there was a Bronco in front of us. The city bus was in front of the Bronco. So the Bronco just swerved out of the way to stop from hitting the bus. And we were just right up on it. So we kind of turned around in traffic and I went through the windshield, kind of halfway in, halfway out. And I don't remember any of this, of course, so it's kind of a story to me as well. But they had to cut me out of the car, and I was in a coma for a few days and kind of crushed from the waist down. But if there had not been, I mean, if we had been a mile even further down the road, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now because it happened right there. So it took me almost 2 years to recover. And I had to learn how to walk again, and not from paralysis or anything, but just from the broken bones.
Hmm.
And but I recovered, and I went back to work and waited tables and bartended for many years and did lots of session work. I'm a studio session singer, done commercials, voiceovers, sang live a bunch. And so I just really got back into my life doing all that. And about, I don't know, several years ago, the arthritis started to set in really bad. And it just kind of got worse from there. So the last few years, I've kind of been like on a walker and in between surgeries. Like when I went to finally got the help I needed to go see the surgeon and stuff, which is another long story, but it was a good story. But anyway, by the time I finally got to that point, he's like, you need 3 or 4 surgeries. We have a lot of work to do. And basically it's just kind of being rebooted. So I needed a new hip and then a new left hip, a new right hip. But before they could do that, they had to take out the titanium rod from my femur. So
that was
Yeah, they took that out. And that's where Lisa came, and she helped me take care of me through all of these surgeries. That's what a good friend she is. And a very good caretaker. Thank you. So anyway, after I had the femur rod removed, I fell off the toilet one night. I tipped off the toilet riser at 4:00 in the morning and re-broke my femur.
It's not funny.
Oh my
It's not
God.
funny, but it's.
It was horrible. And then I peed all over myself too at the time. So it was all, I just told everybody this, but yeah, so I've waiting for knee surgery until my femur healed. But a blessing in disguise is that the femur, after it broke, he was able to fix the femur and put my new knee in at the same time. So there's like little blessings all over the place, you know, because I'd still be waiting for knee surgery right now instead of just waiting for the one surgery I have left, which is to have my right hip replaced. So after that happens, hopefully I will be completely rebooted and back
You're
to
gonna be
getting back into life. Yeah. So it's been a long journey. And so I totally understand. And I'm just lucky that I didn't hurt my back going through a windshield or, you know, have my face eat the glass. You know, I was like really lucky, as they say, for what happened, especially not to be able to remember any of it. Just the recovery, of course, I remember.
That's
but
kind of a blessing. How much do you remember, Burke?
What's that?
How much do you remember?
Um,
Of your
I remember being on the stretcher, getting into the ambulance.
Wow.
They cut my clothes right down the middle.
Okay, yeah.
And my face did eat the glass. This ear was hanging off.
Oh my gosh.
They had to sew it back on.
Oh my God.
Pretty good. And I had a concussion. I had a bash here. And
Okay.
5 broken ribs on my left side.
Ow.
And they spent about 2 hours picking glass out of my face. My wife had to watch the whole thing up close.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
The water gun.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had tiny little pieces of glass in my face.
Huh?
How is your wife doing?
She is the queen of support. Yeah, for sure. She's very strong because it's not over, you know. It's something I have to do every day. You know, you mentioned falling off the toilet or whatever. It's amazing what a spine injury does. It makes the bathroom pretty adventurous.
Right. It's everything. You're negotiating every step of the way. It's like, can I make this next step? Do I have what I need to turn around in here? What is my next step going to be? And is there going to be something in the way that I'm going to have to move out of the way? It's constant negotiation. I totally get it.
It's still a fall risk. I did fall pretty bad once while I was still in the hospital backwards. But even when I walk the dogs, I'll probably fall once a week.
Oh my gosh!
I've got the foot drop on my right side.
Yep.
And then I'll go home and like play drums like a madman, or jump around in the garage and do all this stuff. But like sometimes just normal activity, just walking through town, with my normal limp or whatever, it'll just get caught on broken sidewalk or
right.
And I'll just make a fool out of myself,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, this is not the first time I rebroke my leg. When I was recovering the first time from the original car accident, I rebroke it twice because I fell. I was just trying to get back into life too fast. And I was by myself at the gas station and I fell off a curb. And I'm laying there by myself and I was able to drive, but I couldn't even drag myself to the car. So this nice family pulls up and they see me just laying out there with my big gulp, which I did not spill, by the way. But anyway, they were super nice and they drove me back to Vanderbilt and the husband drove my car and so that was one time I rebroke it, but it was already set because I had these titanium rods in there already. So it's been recovery after recovery, and this whole year has kind of been that for me. But I'm grateful. I mean, the first surgery was in January, and that was the hip. And I mean, it was instantly less pain. And then, a couple months, well, COVID hit, and then I had to have that femur rod removal surgery pushed back. But as soon as things started opening up, that surgery was able to take place. And then, that was in April, and then, or I'm sorry, in June. And then just waiting for this next one. And I'm so ready. This has been the longest wait ever, because I know it's going to be instantly less pain. And I'm so looking forward to that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But still, as far as music goes, just writing and singing still. It's kind of hard, though, when you're not physically feeling it, to kind of get in that mode to where you want to be creative, and then you start feeling guilty because it's like, God, did I lose that too now? What's the deal?
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to push yourself, and I'm writing more. I'm writing a lot, which is good. But it's tricky,
Might be a little different with the voice. Maybe not. Maybe emotionally it affects you, but like I'm dealing with things I used to be able to do when I was 10 years old, and
right.
now just because of my ego, I just can't pull some things off anymore.
Right.
I'll come upstairs from rehearsing or whatever, and my wife will be like, "Sounds normal to me," and I'll be like, "No," and I'll throw the drums across the room. It's not. Never gonna get it back.
Right. Oh, I know. Well, I was a cheerleader in high school, and that ain't happening again either. For sure.
I want to talk about, how have each of you managed your anger? It must be very, frustrating and make you feel very angry when you can't do the things that you want to do. That seems to be a common theme of, even the aging population that I work with. They they haven't been in a car accident, but they're still having to cope with it just from getting older. And so I'm very interested.
Honestly, it's like daily. I'm combating gratitude with self-hate.
That's the key.
And if self-hate wins, I go into depression. If gratitude wins, then like, man, I'm improving and I can feel it, and I'll be just fine, whatever. And I'm an isolator too. I'm not good with reaching out and things like that.
Yeah.
I do everything myself. So, and that's the healthier thing to do, is like reach out and get a circle of support around you.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, I didn't do that before. I don't see how I'm going to suddenly flick that switch.
Yeah. It's hard to change personality, it's I also I think we can all identify with that. Colleen and we seem very outgoing, and to a point we are, but we each also have a tendency to kind of go into our own little cocoon. And that's probably why we get along so well, because we respect each other's space. When we start to go there, we're okay, she's cocooning right now. I'm just going to let her do the thing for a little bit.
And I'm good about that.
So
I don't like to make people wonder what's up with me as far as stuff like that goes.
I mean, I've tried all the medications. I've tried all the psychotherapies, EMDR, and antidepressant stuff. And I actually had a really TMI. I had a really bad reaction to a new antidepressant recently, and I'm never going to try that again.
Yeah,
it made me really sick. So I'm just like, cold turkey.
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, as far as depression goes, I've never been diagnosed with it, so I've never been on any kind of medication. But as far as like getting angry and stuff, how I deal with it is, and you mentioned this about gratitude. For me, that's my saving grace for sure. If I just focus on that, it's like, okay, this is not so bad. And I have a lot of very good, coaching tips that I give myself. And I really kind of like focus on meditating and stuff, but in those moments where I'm angry and I get there because it's so frustrating, I really try to take a moment, but I I'll explode with all the expletives, and I swear at inanimate objects all the time. Like somebody would think I was a crazy person, and you know what? You have to get that out too. You have to, and otherwise it's gonna build up, and you're gonna crack. But luckily I live by myself, so I'm kind of able to do that, and I really kind of go through that moment and feel the moment and let it go. And that's a huge one for me. And I've had to learn how to do that because it's hard, it's that energy is hard to be around. And I don't like to be around it myself. So I kind of try to look inward when I start to feel that way. But remaining positive and gratitude for me helps in any anger moment. I mean, I could go on and on about that. I cured myself of road rage years ago from that. I like flipped a switch and was like, I don't want to feel that way anymore. And flipped the switch and it was gone. But it took practice, but I did it. And it does take practice. But it's
my wife through the ringer, I can't imagine switching roles and like having to put up with what she's had to put up with. Yeah.
Right. I know. I get it.
Phone call from the police, we've got him at the hospital and he's not moving or, whatever at 3 a.m.
How terrifying.
That was just the beginning. And now she has to be supportive about, just being positive and,
yeah, I have some good people around me too that are, like Steve-O, who's here right now. Hey, Steve-O. Hey. And Steve-O says hi. And, I have great friends and family and stuff. But yeah, I can't imagine what it was like for them to hear about what I was going through and then have to take care of me, It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of whining.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Well, you said you've mentioned several times in your interviews that that your wife is a judo champion, isn't she? Doesn't she compete?
Jiu-jitsu, yeah. She's a
okay.
jiu-jitsu trained.
She must have the balance between having compassion for you and just wanting to tell you to suck it the fuck up.
Yeah. And when she does that, I'm fine with it. Because I really do try to withhold a lot of my whining, but I know how much I do daily whining. But yeah, if she wants to put me in some kind of chokehold, to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Right. I try to put myself in a chokehold sometimes. I'm like, listen here. And I just know, like, the angriest I get, okay, this I should actually start my own channel here, is called YouTube Vacuuming with a Walker, because it is hilarious. And like, if I could turn inside out at the same time, I would, because it is not fun, but on the positive side, it's physical therapy and your rug is getting clean. So I really have to talk myself through it. And I look like a totally complete insane person when I do it. Then I know I do. But I got a clean floor after. And my physical therapy is done.
It's either a horror, you can look at it as a horror show or comedy for sure.
That's so true. And it's a lot of times it's both.
Because usually when
it's mostly comedy.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't follow by myself really. It's got to be it's got to be main stage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we know what else is similar is that when the first person to find me on the scene so early in the morning was a working nurse at a nearby hospital. So she knew.
That's what Lisa said. Yeah.
And she made the call to a specific degree of injury, and
wow,
she knew it was important. And I was not able to find her for a full year, and I finally got the police report, and I was able to go through details and track her down. And 4 months ago, I took her out to lunch, and we met for the first time. And,
wow,
that was a lot of fun, and she's been able to do it for a barbecue since. And she's a really cool person.
Oh, that is so neat. Oh my gosh. I bet that shocked her. They probably, they don't get to hear that every day.
You didn't know where I went. Like, she couldn't track me down either.
Oh, wow.
It was a really cool reunion.
That's a good coincidence too,
She was probably wondering about you.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because I have friends and family members that are nurses, and they wonder all the time what happens to people that they, they care about every person they meet. They're
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
people.
That is amazing.
What's strange is this particular highway, I-900, out where I live, there is a crash just like mine probably once a month in the exact same spot.
That's weird.
I went on Friday night and I had to pull over and take photos because there's the upside down car in the exact same.
Oh my gosh!
Freaked me out,
you wonder if they would figure out why and try to do something about it.
Well, with sunlight, if you were driving on this route, it takes a drastic turn. If you went straight, you would drive up into a parking lot that goes up into a mountain trail, but it takes a drastic turn. And if you're going a little bit above, or if the road click, there's also a 10-foot ditch.
Oh my God!
So if you were to not get the turn, you start what I did, which is tilt into the ditch, and then I flipped back over the opposite direction. I got flung out.
Overcorrected.
And then it rolled.
How scary.
But it's crazy. It's the same, and there's actually signs along this road that say, seek the Lord, avoid the ditch, or something.
What?
Like little
So like warning signs.
Yeah.
So this was last year. Your wreck was last year, you said?
Yeah, last year.
Wow. So you're still definitely in recovery, especially for neurological things, it seems.
Yeah, but the more I talk to spine surgeons and research, and I'm very impatient. That's number one.
Okay.
But 2 years seems to be the general kind of permanency. So I'm in a rush. Like before the interview, I just got back from an appointment that's called Synexus.
Okay.
I'm going after everything. I do the acupuncture. I do a deep tissue. I swim. I have an iStem machine. I'm going to be starting yoga pretty soon. I do my own physical therapy, which is really aggressive with jumping and ropes, rubber band stuff. This is actually, they inject you with vitamins straight into the nerves. And then they put these suction cups on you full of electricity at a certain frequency. And then you have to sit there for 45 minutes and just take it. So today was my first appointment with that. And I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, I was saying, how'd that go?
I liked it, yeah. So I get 12 treatments of that and see how that does.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds intense. For
it's
sure.
My feet. I mean, my hands are screwed up, but I can put up with a lot of. I want my feet back. It's just like walking on sponges.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's got to be scary. And it takes a long time for that to come back. I had a little bit of nerve damage, but it's back now. But I mean, I can't even equate it to what you're dealing with, because who knows what the similarities are there. It's totally different. But
are you on a walker again?
I am just because I'm waiting for my hip surgery. Okay. If I like my knee surgery, this was back in June, July. I don't know. I can't remember. July. It feels completely healed now.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, that was. Is that when I had the knee replaced too at the same time? I think so. I can't remember now. See, there's been so many. I've been under a lot. But
it's all together for both of us. It doesn't matter.
If it weren't for my hip, like the pain in my right hip, I would be pretty much healed as far as all that goes, because my femur feels pretty good. Like I go in next week to have more x-rays to see if I'm healed enough for the actual surgery. So hopefully before Thanksgiving I will have it done, hopefully. But yeah, so this walker, and let me tell you, my mom accidentally called it a stroller, which is hilarious because I'm 53 years old and she's like still talking about my stroller. So we put a stamp on that and now it's just called the stroller. But I hate it so much. It's become like the manifestation of all my anger. And it's like a shark cage. I'm like walking around in this shark cage and I'm bumping into things and it's squeaking. Like I would not be able to sneak up on anybody right now. And it's very frustrating, but I use it as practice for gratitude because I'm like, I wouldn't be able to walk for shit if it weren't for this walker. So what am I bitching about, you know? So I have to really kind of, especially because I know I'm so close to the next surgery that I'm just like, do not lose your mind. Do not lose your mind. Do not lose your mind. You know, and there's extra stuff going on in my life as well. Like my mom lives right next door and she's dealing with some things at the moment that I feel frustrated. I can't get to help her physically. That she needs my help because she can't see at the moment. She's having cataract surgery and she's got an eye infection in the other eye. So it's kind of, there's a lot going on right now, but maintaining positivity and gratitude is my anchor for sure. Always and forever.
Do you go to any support groups or does Lisa have to take all your calls?
Well, she'll tell you that I don't call hardly at all.
Yeah,
I'm horrible.
I'm
a texter.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a good coping mechanisms I've been dealing with this for a long time too, so I have a lot more practice over that as far as dealing with, you know, this kind of recovery and stuff. So I can kind of see the signs of when it's coming, and I'm so hopeful for my future now that I know on the other side of this hip replacement, I'm going to be able to do the music again and go out and do my writer's nights and go out and just get plugged into my life again. You know, even if I am limping, I don't care. You know, it's like, that is the bottom line. It's like, I do not care. I'm just gonna be so happy to be out of my shark cage and back into my life, you know? So that I really do have good coping mechanisms. And if I kind of turn inward, if I'm feeling like I don't, you know, I'm not feeling it. So I kind of close myself off. So as far as support groups go, music and ridiculousness, you know, that show Ridiculousness.
Let's say humor. Humor is everything. We interact every day in our own way. We don't always get to call each other, but we have Twitter and we have ridiculous jokes, and that's how
ridiculous.
We're always sending each other anything funny that we find. We're like, oh my God, Colleen has to see this, or at least.
And the cornier the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
That helps. So that, big time.
Burke, what, I mean, are you toward any surgeries, or do they anticipate you needing anything down the road, or?
I recently went into a second opinion surgeon, not the original surgeon who did the work, because I wanted him to give me some magical answer, and he said it would be too dangerous to cut into me again.
Wow.
And he said to listen to more positive audiobooks and buy some jumper boots so I don't drop my foot anymore. And then I signed up for a spine rehab clinic, which should have been crucial last year, but I was doing other things. So, and they would do nerve testing and see specifically what's going on. So, I'm taking a new medication called baclofen, which feeds the spine. It's for people with multiple sclerosis. It has to do with spasms. So sometimes when I stretch my leg, I get this shaking. And then it'll calm down. And even when I'm playing drums, when I'm not pressing on the bass drum, when I'm not hitting something, I kind of get this little bit of a rattle. And so this medication actually helps with muscle spasm or nerve and muscle spasms. So that's helping out a little bit. All the pain stuff all the heavy duty pain stuff never did anything for me. So I've dropped all that.
Okay, that's probably at best if it doesn't do anything for you, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, additional surgeries, I was hoping so, but it doesn't sound like it. So I'm just doing alternative stuff like that Synexus treatment. And I'm doing starting more strength training.
That's good. Yeah.
And massage. I did the massage thing, and now I'm trying the strength thing. So I'm just going to the next thing to try to figure it out, because I am a member of a spine injury support group for the Christopher Reeve Foundation.
Oh, good.
And we have
great. That's awesome.
meetings every few weeks online. And honestly, like, they do amazing work. And the people who sign up to be in those groups are all great people. But I'm too driven, and it's going to sound really selfish, but I can't sit in a meeting for 45 minutes and listening to the newest cutting edge hydraulic van door.
Right. It's like,
that sounds awful, but I'd rather be working. I'd rather be sweating.
It does not sound awful. It
No.
doesn't sound awful.
Well, I mean, the healthy thing would be to sit there and say, I support you, and listen. You're different than me, and whatever you need, you know. I don't know. I'm just too impatient, and but they do amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what
are your goals and plans for the next few months?
Continue with the channel. I still have some pretty kick-ass guests that I can't announce yet, and yeah, it will. There's a lot of work that goes into it, dealing with managers and agents and email correspondence with three weeks in between answers, and just coordinating all that stuff. And I'm really lucky. I'm really grateful that it's come together as it has, but it takes a lot of organizing, and that's good for me to learn how to deal with not just the artist, but the people around the artist, you know, who allow it to happen.
Yeah.
That just working every day.
That's a little frustrating. Well,
the old me would just be like, you know, why are you trying to big time me? You know, like, I've been so patient, and now I'm just like, let you know, whenever I'm ready, when you're ready, you know. I love you.
Yeah. Just that's all you can do. I remember in one of your earlier interviews, you had mentioned you were so excited you thought you were going to get to interview Sheila E. And of course, that looked like that probably fell through. And I imagine that happens a lot. And probably, you know, so I don't blame you. Probably, Colleen's back. We lost her for a second. But
and one of them really didn't.
I wouldn't tell anybody anything until it happens. You do such a great job with all of the intros. The affection and respect that you have for the people you're interviewing really shows through. I mean, you do a full bio, video, pictures.
Do you like that? A while back, I wasn't sure if it was necessary, but I kind of like to do that just in case someone's not familiar with the artist, that you kind of get a little bit of, and it's actually, I've had to teach myself all that editing and teach myself iMovie and all that stuff. I didn't know how to do any of that.
Oh, see, that's amazing.
Well, you do a great job, and everybody should go to your channel. I do have the link to your channel in the description of this video already.
I'm gonna do it.
And I recommend Burke's very first interview is with Martin Chambers from the Pretenders, of course, and it was a great 2-part interview. I watched the whole thing, and then when Tony got home, that's my husband, he watched it.
Tony,
and Tony's a fan now, and you know, I have to tell you, Burke, my husband does not have the attention span to watch anybody, but he watches your interviews. He really does. We're you know, it's been exciting to see your channel grow. But I'm looking here, you know, Colleen, he also got to interview Sandy Gennaro. Is that how you pronounce his name? It's Gennaro, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The guy, Colleen, remember the video for Money Changes Everything? Cyndi Lauper, the live video that was like at the top of every hour on MTV. They were even advertising at the top of every hour. We're going to show the trash can. He was a drummer. He was a drummer in that. And he was so positive and so awesome. And
that's so cool.
yeah, so it's been really cool because I get something out of so the viewers are getting something out of these interviews because the people you're interviewing are also so positive and they have great advice to give and
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and we'll definitely have to come back and talk music to you at some point.
Yeah.
You
oh, I
know,
know, and I have a list of silly questions that I usually have people answer, but now we've only got 9 minutes left before you have students. So this would be so fun. I hope we get to do it again
yeah, it's
sometime.
been great,
But
and I'm gonna definitely check out your channel.
but I do, huh?
Rattle off a few of them. We got time.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well,
Oh Lord.
okay. This one might this one's boring, but it just kind of gets you into it. Like what album?
Yeah.
What album
Next.
can you not?
No, I'm just kidding.
Like what one album can you not live without?
First Pretenders album. Pretenders 1.
Oh, for sure. Love that.
That's
Colleen?
I just listened to that the other day. Okay, for me, it's Billy Joel, The Stranger, hands down. I mean, I've had a copy of that in some way, shape, or form forever.
Hint, hint. One of the next guests coming up.
No.
What? What is your? What did you say?
I said hint, hint. Maybe one of the next guests coming up.
I am.
Oh gosh,
I
that
can't
was
even
great.
right now.
What?
Not
What is
really.
what is the first
Yeah.
album that you purchased with your own money?
The single for "Call Me," Blondie.
That's a good one.
Good
45, the
choice.
small one. Yeah.
God, I have no idea because we used to. Did you used to go to Licorice Pizza? Remember Licorice Pizza
There's that Music Plus.
and the Warehouse?
Yeah, the Warehouse.
Yeah, that's where we used to get our 45s. God, it could be a number. I don't remember the first.
I remember where I bought it too. It might have been a Licorice Pizza. It was in South Coast Plaza.
Oh, South Coast Plaza. We lived by the Orange Mall. Did you ever go to the Orange Mall?
Yeah.
My junior high was right behind there. It shared kind of like the parking lot. I went to Peralta. I think it's like a amusement park kind of bumper buggy kind of thing.
Mhm.
Bumper buggy thing. I don't know. But yeah. So that's where we used to go in there. And I can't remember what I bought
That's real
on my
close to the
own.
stadium.
Well,
I'm sure it was like Barry Manilow or Olivia Newton-John or some,
oh, I know. I had to answer this question myself, and it's like the first album. I thought, okay, I got a Bob Seger album. I'm good. And then I remembered that just a little while before that, with my birthday money, I bought Sean Cassidy, Born Late, and I'm like, no,
hell yeah,
no.
Sean Cassidy.
That is not a cool record to tell people that was the first album you bought. But
Okay, we were like in third grade probably. I mean,
yeah,
I saw your Mickey Mouse
it was
Club
my birthday money.
album that I also had.
The first album I ever that I ever bought with my mom's money was the Snow White album. So I guess it could be worse. But so
Your mom had good albums though. Your mom, I remember when you lived in Newport at the condo, that we listened to Fleetwood Mac Rumors. I mean, non-stop, and that was your mom's, and we had to hide it when she came home. We'd be like, we weren't listening to that.
And now it's on the comeback because that guy on the skateboard.
I know it. Isn't that? You never know how it's going to happen. It's so amazing. I thought that was so cool.
So then, so another question is, what is your favorite curse word? Because I'm a fan of James Lipton and the late James Lipton, so I got to ask everybody, what's their favorite curse word? Come on.
How do you choose your favorite baby? That's a mean question. I love all of them. I gotta say, motherfucker is the one that just comes out most easily is motherfucker.
That's a good one.
Butt fucking son of a bitch.
That's a good, yeah. When you combine a bunch of them, if you can string a bunch of them together in any kind of, form, it's always good. Like, tune into my YouTube Vacuuming with the Walker channel and you'll see how to swear.
Just as an aside, I love the channel idea. My wife actually owns the domain boobsandpubes.com. And there's I live on a lake and I have to go over and clean out the culvert where there's a bunch of beavers who clog it up and make the lake rise.
Oh my God.
So I've stuck a nature camera over there to watch the beaver activity. So we're gonna load a whole bunch of beaver footage up onto boobsandpubes.com.
That's hilarious.
Switch. So
The old bait and switch.
beaver footage. And we're gonna
we'll write some jingles for your channel.
Yeah.
You know? And we'll sing them.
No,
20
he
lyrics
doesn't
right there.
want
Just
our
organize
jingles,
it.
Colleen.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want our jingles. They'll all be embarrassing. He won't.
No, hey, Steve-O and I can write you a jingle like that. You give us 10
They
minutes, we
can.
got you a jingle.
They can. They can.
Oh, yeah.
Send it
That's
over.
the fun part.
What is your favorite use of a curse word in a song?
Oh, man, I love the way Chrissy Hine, it's not even a curse word, but it sounds so nasty. I shot my mouth off and you showed me what that hole was for. When I heard that when I was a kid, I was like, that was the dirtiest thing I've ever heard. And there's no.
She just says that in conversation, probably.
Yeah.
She just
You
stuff off
just
in
know she just
pressure.
says. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It probably, I don't know. Because I don't really, nothing's coming to mind at the moment. I know that's boring.
You're drawing a blank. You're drawing a
I
blank.
think Trent Reznor, Starfuckers Incorporated. I think, yeah, you can't get.
I love Trent Reznor. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, there's pick any one of their songs. I want to fuck you like an animal. How's that?
Yeah. Good. He's cornered the market.
There we go. I remembered one.
I'm trying to remember. Is it Martha Wainwright? She does bloody motherfucking asshole. Bloody motherfucking
I like
asshole.
it.
Yeah, that's that thing.
I like it.
But okay, and now this one you're gonna have to think hard because it can't be somebody you're gonna interview anytime soon. But which musician would you love to just punch in the face? Like if you could get away
A musician?
Maybe Burke should steer clear of the musicians because
God.
he ends
Such a-
up not working with them.
Kid Rock's a good one. Who's yours, Lisa? Do it.
Oh, for sure, Lars from Metallica. Who the hell sued college kids for downloading songs? Good God, I'll punch him in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna say Ted Nugent. I punched Ted Nugent.
Oh,
because that
okay, well,
he just deserves it. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
And
okay.
I've seen him in concert.
Panic at the Disco. I guess that's just the first one that comes to mind.
Brandon Urie. Is that Brandon Urie? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he looks. He may be a perfectly fine guy. I don't know, but yeah, he does. He does look rather punchable, doesn't he?
He's got a back. I can get sick.
Here. But we took up your entire time that you had
That's
before
okay.
your next class. I'm sorry,
Look,
Burke.
I just turn and start.
But I appreciate.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
Hey,
You
thank
play
you.
piano?
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. And I'm definitely going to check out your channel now. And a couple people said that they listened to my SoundCloud today. So I just want to say thank you for that. I didn't write any of those songs. Well, one song on there I wrote, but that was
Lullaby,
the last one.
You wrote Lullaby.
All the other ones are just like studio stuff I've done. And some live.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Burke. This was really kind of you. You don't know me at all, and you said yes, and that meant a lot to me. And I hope you stay in touch. I think you're a real neat person, and we didn't get to talk about your chickens, so maybe you'll come back sometime. Okay.
Next time I'll be out in the yard.
Okay. Well, all you have to do to leave is just click the little button that says leave.
Okay. You guys later.
All right. Have a good night. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Good job, Lisa. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Okay, everybody. So that was Burke Thomas and Colleen Eckmark talking about their experience. They both had, near fatal car accidents, and were lucky enough to live to tell about it. And it's, I'm grateful, obviously, that Colleen is still with us. And, we wish Burke you know, all of the love and luck and positive energy. Of course, I'll be going to Nashville to help take care of her. And not that she needs me, but there's just no damn way I wouldn't be there. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and appreciate you. Make sure you check the description of this video for the link to follow the Drum Recovery Network, and go check out Colleen's music on SoundCloud, especially the song that she wrote, Lullaby. And yeah, I will see all of you tomorrow. Love you.